Good morning, guys. How are we all doing? So Dan from Trading with Dan. This is our Monday morning Bitcoin update. So if you guys wouldn't mind smashing that like button, we shall go straight over to those Bitcoin 4-hour charts. Yes, a Bitcoin on the 4-hour. We have obviously taken a little bit of a dive here. We've got our horizontal area that we are currently hitting. If I just extend this along here. And then this lower area, we could probably color this box in, but I didn't want to. I didn't want to color it in when it was quite close to this one here. I wanted to leave these the upper and lower range. Although, as I have been saying, we may be more bullish than I expected, and then this could actually end up being the bottom part of the range. So we will see. I guess if we are gonna find this out, it's gonna be probably today or tomorrow. On the basis of, do we hold this level, or do we break and close below 44,000 and then come and test into this level? But what I will probably do is, if we do bounce from this level over today and tomorrow, and don't close any candles below here and don't come down to this level, then I may then just color this in as well, shade this in, and then we will probably be looking at that as our established range, at which point it would look quite nice for we basically top of the range to the bottom of the range, hit the middle part of the range, hit the bottom part of the range, then bounce, and then try and, well, price action will be populating the lower half of our range, attempting to break into the upper half, and then we'll just play that game of the sideways range with the important levels, obviously the midpoints and the 25% points, and then yeah, they will just be the horizontals we'll operate from. But obviously that is this doesn't necessarily have to be the lower part of this range. Like I said, and then I think the net today and tomorrow are going to be pretty important. Obviously tomorrow being turnaround Tuesday, so we could come lower today then turn around tomorrow, or that this could be it for the move. Obviously we are getting dragged down by the weakness in the major markets because of the Evergrande situation. The Evergrande situation, which I'm sure lots of you have already heard about, which basically means that it's pretty much priced in. So I don't think it can realistically drag markets down much further. Plus those bonds, those Evergrande bonds, they've been on my radar for a while now. Where I say on my radar, people that I listen to have been talking about it for a while. Those markdowns, those sell-off in those bonds have been going on for a while now. So those losses have already been realised by the people that are realising those losses. The banks in China basically state-owned, so they will just get bailed out, so there's no real issue there. So basically what I'm saying is the damage from that is pretty much done, and this is this is pretty much now probably just a market sentiment reaction to it. So at some point sentiment will change, and then we'll just go back up. But so far as its wide implications on the world market, I mean, everybody knows China's economy, or China's currency, is basically a Ponzi. China's currency is basically a Ponzi, so their banking system is never really going to be truly a threat. They are obviously doing well with their exports, so they are clearly getting enough foreign reserves in anyway at the moment. So that's that would be the only real concern if they were struggling on that front. So realistically, I don't think it's too much to worry about. The only thing this market is driven by and cares about is Fed liquidity and interest rates, and not China. So there you go. there's my views on that. If we do go and have a look at the stock market just whilst we're here, the future's still selling off a bit here, but they are coming into our first level, similar to Bitcoin's coming into our first level of support here. So it is certainly not beyond the realms of possibilities. We've just had this initial knee-jerk reaction as futures and markets have opened today. For this Monday, for the start of the week, we get a little push down, and that ultimately we bought up either around this level, well, at potentially this level in stocks and the level we're at in Bitcoin now. That is a potential scenario. Yeah, if we come lower, we've got the lower levels in the stock market, in the S&P, and we've also got the lower levels in Bitcoin. But yeah, like I said, we've got every chance of pretty much this being roughly around the lows. Maybe we try to trade sideways, a little bit of a bounce, test down lower again, and then we get a nice turnaround Tuesday. So there you go. What else did I want to look at? Yeah, the Ethereum Satoshi pairing is struggling, as we kind of were saying. It wasn't looking the most bullish, testing this horizontal, and we are now below it. We'll extend this along. This is the next level. So again, if markets are to turn around roughly around the levels that we're at now, this could obviously be where we get bounced from in this pairing. If I can just get that right, yeah, there we go. This would be a nice area for us to bounce at in this pairing. A nice important level we've had drawn in for a while. And if we look at the Ethereum USD pairing, the Ethereum dirty fiat pairing, we are I mean, you can see we have got a little bit lower. We can come down to get into this major level, but we are obviously in this higher volume node for more recent price action. So for us to get support and bounce back in here wouldn't look too untoward, to put it that way. Bitcoin dominance squeezing up here as well, above our resistance, and now this obviously can resistance, so it's above it, so yeah, it can potentially move higher. This can, and if we also want to look at the DXY, obviously with this weakness, is having a nice move up into our into basically deep into and potentially above our next level. So obviously get above here. Let's just extend this along a little bit. This is potentially a target. This is potentially a horizontal target. So I mean, it is not unreasonable to expect a move up to around here. There will be all sorts of tantrums going on in the market, at which point the Fed will potentially do something maybe a little bit more drastic than usual, and then we'll start to get a sell off to the bottom of the range, and then bounce around, break the bottom of the range, and then come down. That is a very extended prediction of what could happen, but yeah, just what could happen. I'm only basing on just where these horizontals, where these lines, this horizontal and trend line, come in. And just what's going on. But like I said, though, if we do turn around in these markets, roughly speaking, where we are now, then yeah, this could just be a bit of a fake out above this resistance. We'll come back down and then start to move back down. That would look not too bad then for a move to take out this level and then this level. But either way, we're just going to watch it in real time. Ultimately, all this just comes down to is how much more the market wants to worry about this Chinese situation, whereas, like I said, their own internal currency is basically monopoly money, even more so than normal countries. So there's just no real risk there. They can just do whatever. All they do want to do, all the Chinese government does want to do, is make sure that the population don't think the rich and powerful. Obviously, the rich and powerful members, like not quite so senior within the party, are not looking like they're just getting away with it, whilst other people are losing money. So there will obviously be scapegoats made of certain rich, powerful people, but for the lower class people as a whole, they will probably to a certain extent be looked after, because obviously if those people kick off, that's ultimately where the problems with their power structure will occur. So let's have a look at also just a quick look at the tech stocks. Tech stocks obviously not doing so bad, as we can see. If we want to look at gold, below our major level here, so that's clearly not looking good, and silver also not looking too good down here as well. So yeah, I mean, obviously the dollar rising is clearly what is driving these down at the moment. Other than that, there isn't much to look at on here. So it is down to these larger time frame stochastics for Bitcoin to potentially savers. Obviously the shorter time frame ones are going to have been coming down, but yeah, 4 hour very low, still pointing down, but obviously the potential to turn back up at some point. 10 hour coming down and diving, still got room to run. 12 hour is turning down and got plenty of room to run. Daily, which had turned back up, had turned back and moved up nicely, but hadn't got into the bullish zone, has now turned back down, so that is not the greatest read at all. 2-day did look to turn up, but it's coming back down still. 3-day still diving, 5-day coming down. Weekly still pointing up, but at a high level. The bi-weekly pointing up, and then obviously the monthly doing its thing. So yeah, stochastic, it's not looking so good, but like I said, what we need is some of these to turn around. I mean, potentially the daily to turn back up, but obviously it's down at the moment. The 2-day to turn back up, but obviously it's down at the moment. And these higher time frames are looking like they're gonna potentially drag price down here a little bit. So there is a bit of a convoluted read. So I mean, the way that I see that then is that we will be trading sideways within a range. It's just a question of what that range is. Do we come lower? Is this going to be the lower part of the range? Is this the low here? And then do we bounce and just trade sideways within here before ultimately making a decision of what we are going to do in maybe the next 1 to 2, maybe even longer than that, weeks. So yeah, we'll have to see. But for the most part, like what I have said, I think a lot of the losses have been realized. I think a lot of a lot of this move in basically stock markets has potentially played out. This isn't going to be what triggers the end of the everything bubble. This is not what is going to trigger it. So yeah, it's just a case of do we just wait for turnaround Tuesday tomorrow, and just that's how simple markets are. So yeah, we shall see. But yeah, we've got an interesting week ahead, so that is good. It is good. Obviously, when things are interesting, they keep us on our toes. We are in the business quarter of the year, pretty much. So yeah, we've got to start making those trading accounts looking good into year end. So yeah, expect more focus on markets. So yeah, there we go, guys. Remember, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Always DYOR, and I shall speak to you guys soon.